Hey, listen up. We got another episode of Kracks, featuring the crack man himself, Bill Krackenberger, and our co-host, John Orlando, straight from Las Vegas. Kracks is your ticket inside the world of sports betting, with tips, picks, special guests, and more. Only on WSN.com.
It's Christmas time, people, and the Kracks crew wishes you a very happy holidays and Merry Christmas. Bill Krackenberger, you're back east. Christmas time. You like this time of year, right?
Yeah, I just drove about 7 hours round trip. I was up in New York. I was all over today. I went to go see a buddy of mine that lives in Howard Beach, and just a really cool old school area there that I go to every year to visit him for Christmas time every year. And I took a zip through Brooklyn, and it's people were out everywhere.
Really,
the streets were packed. Everyone's shopping. I went and got some really nice Italian bread, I didn't realize you have to wear masks there, because in Jersey here you don't have to wear masks, but there mask everywhere, stores, restaurants. I went to I walked in without a mask, and I had a mask. It was just my back pocket. I wasn't thinking. And so New York's back to doing that, and fear mongering everywhere. But anyway, look how nice this is. Like, you just can't get that home.
Wow.
You know? That's LMB Spumoni Gardens. It's really, really famous pizza. It's the sauce on top, the grated cheese. You just, I have more pictures.
You said that's the place Portnoy gave a high review?
Yeah, I think he gave it 8.8. I think they're now, there's two of them competing here. There's a place called Brooklyn Square, which copied their pie,
right, and
brought it over to Jersey. Portnoy liked that a little bit better. I think he gave that one 8.9 compared to this one 8.8. But Portnoy doesn't like square pie, so you just think about that. He's a round cheese,
right, regular.
For him to give anything over 8 to a square pie
says a lot.
I'm not really sure. Maybe he did give him the 8.2 and 8.3, whatever, because he doesn't do square pie. Very famous pie. But yeah, there's Spumoni Gardens in New York. There's the old carriage, because now that's the reason why they have that carriage out there. I'll tell you why. The lady's grandfather, she's up there in age too, but her grandfather started this.
Oh wow!
It says that 1939. I'm looking at the box.
Wow.
1939. It's a really cool thing. I came across some pictures, John, though. My mother used to make a giant antipasta and stuff, and I found one of her antipastas on there.
Wow.
This is something that one of the things that she would do. And then I have, of course, my favorite, which is the Christmas cookies. As you can see, just good. Tins and tins, trays and trays of cookies.
I love it.
Old school Italian way. She loved doing that stuff. And just some pictures I found. I thought I'd share with you guys. It's funny. In one of the places I was in today is called, not Rendazzo's. Oh, God. Lenny's Clam Bar. I was in Lenny's Clam Bar today, and I seen this picture on the wall. I just had to take the picture of it. So Alec Baldwin refused to take a photo.
No.
They put a copy of the check.
That is
nice enough, though. But he did. This is back in 2007. But all that stuff doesn't mean nothing to me. You know what means something to me? He came in, had a drink at the bar, and left a $50 tip. So that's how I rate people.
All right.
There it is.
Fair enough.
There's his credit card number, there's everything on him.
I wonder why he wouldn't take a pic.
I don't know. He's a little bit of a weirdo. I mean, yeah. I guess we all aren't we all? But yeah, so I took some pictures. Last one would be the world famous hot dog cart that I go to every year.
That looks good.
This guy has a really big following there, and his father had it first. It's been there like 55 years.
Where is that?
That's in Shrewsbury, New Jersey. It's literally like 10 minutes. 10 minutes right over a bridge from Middletown, where my parents are buried. The mausoleum is. So I go there every time. My father used to go there, and my aunts and uncles and stuff. That was a famous. It's still there. Like I said, it's the guy that has the hot dog. It's a little truck. His son took it over, and it's still as good as ever. And it's like, just something that I can't get that in Vegas. There's no good hot dog carts,
Right.
hot dog trucks to pull over.
No.
You know, we call them like dirty water dogs. I mean,
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. No, there is no good one. I wouldn't, even in New York, I wouldn't really trust any in New York. There's a couple of those trucks, though, food trucks. We do have them in Vegas, and there are also a couple of them good ones in New York that have been there for years and have a lot of turnover, so they are fresh and good. That's different kinds of foods.
What about the deli you took me to a couple of weeks ago out here? Do they have good hot dogs? I got a corned beef sandwich. It was incredible.
Oh, that's a pretty new deli. It's only been open about 6 months. That's Bagel Mania,
right?
Which is the old Bagel Mania was on Twain, and I don't know. It was in a bad area
in the hood.
Had to get out
yeah,
of there. It kept on getting worse and worse and worse. It was just so bad.
That new one is incredible.
But the new one is right next to the convention center.
Yeah,
on Convention Center Drive.
And then they had
literally walking distance from the the Wynn too, but the Encore.
Yeah, and they have that Pink Box donuts inside.
Pink Box,
right?
He owns them. Steve Siegel owns Pink Box. He owns the
Those
deli.
Are good.
He owns all the Siegel motels around town, and he owns them all over. Actually, he owns real estate all over the country. He's I heard he's a billionaire with a B. So he doesn't act like he's always really nice.
I can't wait to go back there. That place was legit. That was good. That corned beef sandwich was great.
Yeah, we have a really good deli in Vegas finally. Yeah, Bagel Mania. And there's another place up in Summerlin, Bagel Cafe. It's very, very good. It's very good. Just much more money and I'm not a real big fan of a couple things that go on there. So, but anyway, the food's good. Food's good. That's the main thing.
All right, let's talk a little sports. There was a big boxing match. I'm sure you didn't watch it last Saturday, but Jake Paul stepped back in against Paul-Woodley, and this time he KO'd him stiff. Did you at least see the?
I actually, someone sent me someone did send me, I'm looking for, they did send me that he got knocked out. Like they showed me the video of him getting knocked out.
Yeah.
So I've seen that.
It was actually kind of nice move. So I'm going to shock you right now, Bill. You might even be mad. I think I've come over to the Jake Paul side. I'm not saying I'm a fan, but I got to give him respect now. I mean, to step in there twice against Woodley, goes the distance the first time. He KO'd him stiff. I know a lot of people, if you saw Woodley dropped his left hand, but it looked, if you watch the replay, Jake is focused on Woodley's body, and it's a real subtle thing, but I think it was he faked him out. He made it look like it was going to the body, and he came up top to the head, and some people are saying it's fixed. I don't think you can fix that. I don't think a man would let you.
I'm sick and tired of people saying the word fix.
Yeah, there's no way that's fixed. You're not letting.
Someone asked me yesterday if something's fixed. I can't take it.
There's no way. I mean, you're not letting another guy just tee off on you like that. Your body wouldn't even let you. Your reaction, if you really saw it, even if you were getting paid to take that dive, that's not how you take a dive. You're not taking a shot like that. There's no way. I mean, he connected square on him.
Well, I haven't seen enough yet. Let him get into the regular boxing scene with some of the good boxers.
Agree with that. Yeah.
I hope he does too. I'm rooting for him. Not rooting against him.
Yeah.
His trainer has come on our show. And,
right. BJ. Yep.
I like the whole atmosphere there. I hope they keep doing it. This is the same guy that fought again. I would have liked to have seen him fight Fury. Like he was supposed to, and maybe that'll happen next or something. We'll see.
Yeah.
Liam Parrow on the undercard won a split decision, right?
Yes, and he looked great. It was a tough fight.
Photo.
Yeah, he sent that to me too. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, he looked
pretty cool.
He looked great. It was a good fight. It was back and forth. Liam got dropped. It was almost kind of like he fell. It wasn't like he got dropped hard, but he did get dropped. A good fight. He battled and he won the fight. Yeah, it was really good to see.
Yeah, so good. Congratulations to him and his trainer Steve, who we had them both on our show a couple weeks back. So glad. And then there's another fight that Deron, am I saying his name right? Deron Williams.
Yes.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He beat Frank Gore.
And it looked just like I said. I saw highlights. It looked just like I said. It looked like two cats fighting, flailing arms, and it was a little crazy, very unorthodox. Didn't look like a normal boxing match. It was very physical, though. Williams, he was throwing Gore around, literally pushed him in almost through the ropes at one point. But it looked like a cat fight.
Yeah. Let's get over to the NFL.
Yeah.
Because I have something to talk about, but I'll let you go first.
Yeah. It's a crazy week. I mean, Tom Brady got shut out. I mean, let's just start with that. What are the odds on that?
I've been talking about, I do 5 shows a week, and besides our podcast, and I've been talking about this the last couple of weeks, how this year's NFL is so crazy. Last week's video I put out for one of the companies, I'm a spokesman for a company. I put a video out for them. I said, Kansas City got shut out by the Giants, or Kansas City almost lost to the Giants a few weeks ago on national TV.
Yep.
And then I talked about Tennessee beating Buffalo. I talked about all different things that happened. Washington beating Tampa Bay was one of them. Yep. And now the Saints beat Tampa Bay at home. Yeah. And it's an embarrassment. They shut them out.
Brady looked furious. Did you see? Like he threw a laptop. I mean, he was literally furious.
There's no dominant team. I mean, they're talking about. I look at the odds on. The reason why I say I'm talking about these on shows, I just don't think anyone should ever get into the futures market right now. There's all these teams are so low. Yeah. I just took a photo of current odds. These teams are so low. How do you bet any of these teams? I mean, just look at these odds. Kansas City 4-1, Green Bay 4.5-1. Kansas City 4.5-1, Tampa Bay 6-1. I mean, how many of these teams? How can there be that low of odds this year?
What's Dallas right now?
Are ridiculous. Dallas Cowboys. They got to be.
You said something.
12-1.
You said something last week that, of course, upset me. You said Dallas didn't look that good, and I have to admit, and now that I watched just this last game. Even though they beat the Giants, they don't look good. You're right. Like they're winning. Yeah. I mean, at least they're winning, but they don't look good. They don't look good.
Yeah. I didn't know I upset you, John. You're very sensitive. I don't remember you saying anything.
Well, I like hearing. I like. I'm pro Cowboys. I want my Cowboys to. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pro cash.
Yeah.
I don't care what happens to these players and these guys after the game, before the game. I need them to win then when I'm betting on them. And next week, and I'm not saying I don't want anything to happen to them.
No, of course.
But I'm just not. I just can't be a fan of anything.
Let me ask you this: it says here a sports bettor placed a $10 bet that there would be no touchdown scored in the Bucs Saints game, and the payout was $1,010. Do you like that prop bet?
Well, I mean, since he won $1,000, he can never give it back betting $10 again.
Right.
It would take him, years to lose that again. Well, I shouldn't say years if that's every game, but. I don't like it if the odds aren't right. That seems like it's $10. That means he's getting 100-1.
Right.
So in a Bucs game, you just don't think you think it should be more than that. Probably
you would think. I mean, that's. I agree with you because that's like you would say prior to seeing the outcome. Dude, you're just burning the money. I mean, you're just giving away $10 or whatever you made a bet on that. You might as well crumple it up and throw it away,
Good
right?
for him.
Yeah.
Congratulations, though. Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Yeah. Well, I just don't bet stuff like that normally unless it's really, really, really good odds. I'll bet stuff. I bet players to get 2 and 3 touchdowns in a game before taking the 100-1 or something, like 80-1 or 50. I've done that. I've bet first player to get a touchdown. I've done some stuff. I will bet some long shots there, but
like realistically, that should have been 1,000-1 odds, right?
Well, you got not only is it Tampa no touchdown, it's also the Saints, so it's no touchdown by either side. It's just a crazy bet.
Crazy bet. The Patriots' winning streak was snapped by the Colts.
Yeah, the Colts. They've looked good some of the games. They were like 50-1 a couple weeks ago to win the Super Bowl. So now they're down to 15-1. I mean, they're in there too, for sure. They actually looked good in the game, though. It was about time. I mean, I just talked about the Patriots. I talked about on videos the previous week. What's this week's flavor of the week? I said, I guess it's Green Bay and the Patriots. After the Patriots won 7 in a row, and I think the Patriots scored. Not only they win 7 in a row, they outscored opponents like 275-75 in those 7 games. So
wow.
And then right away, here it comes, upset time, and the line was showing it too. So it was a very interesting game, and And the Colts look good too. So we have a really, really interesting playoff situation coming up here in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. And the MVP race, it looked like it was going to be all Kyler Murray, right, at some point during the season. And now Aaron Rodgers is absolutely in the mix. What are your thoughts on that? I mean, Aaron Rodgers, this guy just came back from the dead like a month ago, right?
Yeah, a month ago they were cursing him dead, and he was on TV, and they were saying, "Oh, he's all these things," and now he's talking about it and being in the MVP race. So, I mean, I don't know. Green Bay was losing to the Bears the whole first half when they played them 2 weeks ago. Even the halftime, they were down by 6 at the half. Chicago was beating them. I don't have a dominant team. I have no idea. This is the first year I could shake my head and say, I don't know. I don't think Kansas City's going to be the team, but I don't think I figured up until this week, if I had to pick someone, I would pick Tampa Bay back to back. And
really?
Now after this laying this egg at home again,
right?
After losing, I think last year was 38-3. They lost to the Saints. Maybe it's just the Saints have their number and they could beat everyone else, which is crazy saying that. But yeah,
Bill,
we'll see what happens.
Bill, at some point, just like we have to accept that Jake Paul is a boxer, we're also going to have to accept that I sometimes can see the future, Bill Krackomberger. The Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl.
They could be in there. They could be in there. I mean, for sure, they could be in there. I mean, they got to listen. If Tampa Bay can play that bad, Dallas can win the Super Bowl. I mean, really,
fair enough. Yeah,
but I'm not. I don't see myself betting that way. And but I mean, anything can happen. This is the NFL 2021, 2022,
right?
During a COVID situation where every other day games are getting moved around. That's another thing too.
I screenshot your tweet last night. I screenshot your tweet.
Oh, okay. What did I say
about COVID? That you're betting.
Oh, yeah. I said that a couple days ago.
A couple days ago. Sorry.
Yeah, I don't know. I said I feel like we are not betting on sports anymore. Now we're betting against who tests positive.
100%.
I thought about, and it's up to 91,000 impressions already.
Yeah.
Just because
it's so spot on.
I mean, listen, there's opposite situations that I'm betting just following certain media sites and notifications, even Adam Schefter's notifications that come out. You can get a slow-moving sports book and bang, you can jump on something just based on, and I don't like middling or scalping, but you could do it. You can middle or scalp based on these situations. So it's pretty interesting things that are what's going on right now. I'll tell you, I noticed this past week too with the players. With the teams, these games getting moved around. Now, I don't know this for a fact. I should have been a little more prepared. I could have swore, though, the commissioner said, we're not changing no things this year. We're playing all the games. We're not moving games around. And now all of a sudden, of course, they're moving games around. And when I say that is, I think that the NFL doesn't like the Raiders. I don't think the current leadership of the NFL, commissioner, I think there's still a black book out there. I'll just tell you. I think there's an actual black book, and Al Davis and the Raiders are still a hated team. It's passed along to Davis's son.
Yeah.
You look at the calls in some of the games. You look at how do you explain this? When the Raiders had guys out with COVID earlier in the year, they asked to switch games just from a Sunday to a Monday. Right. And they were told no. Goodall said no, that's not going to happen. But yet they did it for the Browns game. Yeah. I'll just tell you, there's definitely a prejudice to the law against the Raiders.
Agreed. So yeah, for sure. Yeah. The Monday night game, Bears and Vikings. The Bears were 7-point dogs.
My God, John, you're bringing up a sore point, but I wanted to talk about this, a sore point. It's my first Crack Wins release of the year side. I gave the Bears out. It was a great situation for the Bears, old division rivals here. I bet a lot of money on it myself. And I mean, the Bears just outplayed them. The quarterbacks alone were like 275 offensive yards to 87 yards. That's
Wow.
the two quarterbacks.
Wow.
Red zone. How about being in the red zone? They were in the red zone 5 or 6 times.
6 times.
Didn't get a point.
Yeah.
Didn't get a point. 6 times in the red zone.
Yeah.
The end of the game. Oh, well, let's go back to this, though. Penalties. They lost the game on penalties themselves. They got penalized on 3rd down after making 1st down 3 different times. They got turnovers, ridiculous turnovers. 3 more turnovers than we got. It's 4-1 points off turnovers. It was just a disgusting display by the Bears and their coach. The end of the game, of course, they go down to get that touchdown to actually make it a push plus the 7 and walk off the field and don't have to kick the extra point.
Right.
Final score 17-9. I went to bed really shaking my head. It's the first game I gave out to my guys on the first side of the year. And I put a lot of money on this game because I actually did like this particular situation here, and my guys liked it. And I'm transparent. I'm putting it out there. I lost the game.
It sounds also insult to injury. It sounds like you might have actually watched this game, which is something you don't normally do. I can hear that you watched it. I hear it. I hear the pain.
I watched it.
Yeah.
Yep. No, I watched this game with my friend. Yeah, it was Jesus. I don't know. Things like that really make you stick to your guns of not betting NFL sides. And I know a lot of guys get mad at me. And other guys say, "Oh, how could you tell people don't bet NFL sides? You know, one of the things you do, you have a consultant service, and you have a service where you sell games." Yeah, but I sell winners.
Right.
I'm not looking just to sell games.
Yeah.
I'm selling winners.
Yeah.
Long term. I mean, we win.
Yeah. Well,
people don't win long term betting NFL sides. So I'm not going to sell a product just to make money that I know I can't beat long term. I beat totals. I beat first half totals. I beat proposition bets. I'm not beating NFL sides, and literally no one else is either.
Yeah. Well, that's a perfect segue for me to talk about the Crack Wins app. You know, it's interesting, Bill. You know, the thing I love the most about you is that you just said that you're transparent. There's a lot of guys that, that would use this show just as a platform to boast and brag about all the wins and just conveniently never talk about the losses. And the fact that, you'll say like it's the first time you gave out a side this year, whatever, and you can feel the pain, and it's not the money that you lost that's hurting. I hear it and I know you. It's you feel like you might have let down the people that made the bet because you told them to make the bet. And the fact that you're that open and honest about it, it says so much about your character, and it says so much about who you are. And the good news is, long term, Crack Wins users win. It's just the way it is. That's a fact.
I don't even talk about wins. It's just not what I do. I talk about losses more than wins. My partners probably get upset at me. I talk about, listen, we're having an unbelievable year, but I lost last week. Big deal. It's 1 week.
Right.
I lost. But the year I'm having is incredible. Look at the futures. I mean, 30-1.
Yeah.
On the kid from the Angels.
Ohtani. Yep.
Ohtani. Ohtani. I think it was 31-1. 30.
Just that alone is worth its weight in gold for a Crack Wins user.
Utah to win the. I think it was Utah to win the Pac-10. We made 7-1. I mean, I've had so many futures. It's just been a great year all around, though. Weekly. We win, but we do have losing weeks like anyone else. But listen, there's a lot of bowl games coming up with 44 games and no real historical data on these teams and on these matchups. I'm sorry, that bookmakers can even go by. So you can find a couple lines that are off here. Everyone loves betting on bowl games, but they treat it like almost NFL. They watch every game, and we're going to have a lot of bowl games. We've had some already. And also, we're going to keep going with college basketball, NFL props, playoff time coming here in a few weeks. Oh, boy, get ready. I'm actually going to push that up a little bit instead of giving one. I usually give one prop out or 2 props. I just don't like to overwhelm people. I might start giving out 3 or 4 props per game. We'll see. We might push it up. For the playoffs, I normally do anyway. So look forward to doing that. So anyway, there's a lot of stuff that we do at Crack Wins good. And I love sharing it with people, and hopefully you guys come aboard and make some money.
Talk about motivation a little bit and bowl games?
I don't know. Could be overrated even. When you talk about motivation too, you just don't know. That's why it's good to pay attention to socials. You just don't know what the players are thinking. Maybe they think they have a career in the pros, or they do have a career in pros. They don't want to get hurt, don't want to play. But it's something that it varies, of course, from bowl to bowl and game to game. So I think I do find some good edges, though. My guys do some really good research on that stuff. So you have to be there's some teams that are in bowls that don't even want to be there because they thought they were going to be in better bowls.
Right.
So, Idaho Potato Bowl they had on TV the other day. I never heard of it. I just,
Is that really a bowl?
Yeah. So
that's really a bowl?
Yes, it was an Idaho Potato
I didn't know
Bowl,
that.
and they dumped the French fries on the guy.
Oh my God.
Yeah, French fries. They dumped the French fries on the guy. I watched the end of it. I was flipping channels here, so it's good to get all the information, and I feel we have it. I know. Listen, it's real simple. The customers that I have are getting the games that I bet. I put my money where my mouth is.
Right.
I challenge any service out there to bet as much money as I do on games.
Yeah.
They don't.
Right.
Most of them don't even bet the games.
Right.
They just give them out. They don't bet them. They don't bet anything.
Which changes everything.
It's ridiculous. How can you do it with no skin in the game?
Right.
It's ridiculous.
Right.
I can't take it no more. All these people on Twitter, not all of them, but a lot of people on Twitter, they're just talking heads.
Yeah.
They don't gamble for a living. Do you make your money betting sports? Do you gamble your own money? Do you make your money? Do you pay tax on sports win? That's when I'll listen to you. Until that time, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. Agreed. Well, be sure to download the Crack Wins app. It's on Apple, it's on Google Play, or just go to crackwins.com, download it today, start making some money. We still got bowl games. Baseball season is right around the corner. Golf will be coming back. Download the Crack Wins app. Speaking of golf, Crack, I watched, I'm not a golf fan, but I watched, they paired up fathers and sons over the weekend. The PNC tournament, and Tiger Woods was out there with his son. I didn't even realize his son.
That's awesome. I heard it was great.
I couldn't turn it off. Yeah, I couldn't turn it off. It was incredible. Tiger and his son ended up coming in second.
Really cool.
And
John Daly and his son won.
Yes.
Did you see the kids out there? John Daly's kids?
Yes.
Did you see him?
Yeah, he looks great. Pretty yeah, he's got a big back. He's wide. I mean, he hits the ball a ton just like Dad. Man.
Tiger's son.
He looked great. Yeah, Charlie.
Wow.
It was really exciting to watch. I don't watch golf. I can flip on by it. I don't need to watch, but I saw it. And cool. I couldn't turn it off. It was pretty cool. And it led me to
that's nice. That's nice that the fathers and son watch it. The pressure was on him playing live.
Yeah.
Tiger's first time back. I'm glad he's back in golf.
Yeah.
Listen. I may not think too much of him personally, but as far as his career, he's an unbelievable golfer.
Yeah.
You know what I think, though. I rate people by how they tip. So
sure.
Tiger's not a tipper. Maybe Charlie can,
Charlie tipped
the caddy. I'm sure he tipped the caddy for the father.
Right. It made me think, watching Tiger and his son, of course, it made me think of all the off the course drama that Tiger's had over the years with the wife and all that. And it made me think like, man, it must be tough. That's a lot of pressure to be Tiger Woods' son. And then I was thinking just to be a son, obviously I can kind of relate, with my dad. But the difference is I guess they were young too when their dad was at their peak, kind of like me. I was just a little kid in the 70s. But what do you think is the toughest to be the son of a athlete in sports? Do you think it's toughest to be Tiger Woods' son, to be Michael Jordan's son, to be Barry Bonds' son, Mike Tyson, Gretzky, Brady? What do you think is the harder? It's probably harder when your dad's had the off field. Like I feel like to be Barry Bonds' son, I don't know if his son's going to play baseball or not, but like that's a tough one, right? Or Tiger. I feel like the off the field drama is hard to deal with, right? What do you think?
Yeah, I would think Tiger's son.
Yeah, so right.
Good for him that he played good and came in second. Good for him.
Yeah,
I would think that would be a tough spot to be in. But then again, he's only a little kid. He probably doesn't have any. He's not really out there on social media and stuff like that at that age. And,
right.
And hopefully he stays off of it and focuses on his own career. And even if he doesn't have to worry because he's got a nice inheritance coming.
Sure. To be the son of any of those guys, if you're playing the same sport that your dad became a legend in, is probably just going to be so tough, right? You just to live up to the expectation. You can never overcome, right? I mean, how can you can't top any of those guys. I mean, it's almost impossible. Ken Griffey Jr., did it, but his dad wasn't as good as Junior, right? Like his dad was a great baseball player, but it's different. Yeah, like Junior's son would be tough to be, right? Yeah.
Well, just think about Bobby Bonds. Bobby Bonds was a giant.
Totally.
When the Yankees traded Bobby Bonds, my grandfather was very upset. So Bobby Bonds was a great player too. You got to think about that. How Barry grew up as Bobby Bonds' son. So it's and he did it. He overcame any kind of obstacles or anything he may have, and he was a great player. It's a shame that he got involved with the scandals he did.
Yeah.
But you mentioned some good guys, and it's an interesting subject. Great subject.
Yeah. Okay, Bill, it's time for our hot takes section. You wanna go first?
You go first.
Me? Okay. I can't even believe this is happening. I feel like this is the third time this is happening. I could be wrong. The USFL is coming back. Is this really happening? The USFL? I mean, I can't even imagine. How is this going to be successful? What are your thoughts on Arena League, football, USFL, all that stuff?
I think that was the USFL, the Jersey Generals.
I think so.
I think if it was. I think it was the Jersey Generals. If they have lines on it, I'm sure I'll find edges on it. The sportsbooks hate to take this kind of stuff. When Arena Football was out there, we had a real good edge at one time, and they were hating it, the sportsbook. So I'm happy. Anything that has more lines on there that gives the sports bookmakers more stuff to put lines on, I'm sure I could take advantage of that. So I look forward to it. I don't know when it's going to start. If it's going to start, I hope it does, though.
We did get some legendary players, though, from the USFL, right? Like Herschel Walker came out of the USFL, right? And
Herschel Walker was great.
And I want to say Warren Moon came out of the USFL. Am I right?
Yeah. I know Warren Moon, when we had him on the show, he said he didn't. I think he did. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think you're right. I think he did. Come out of the. So Jersey Generals. I'm trying to think what that. I'm trying to think what. I think he went to Georgia. I'm not sure the college. Maybe I hope I'm right. But then he came out. I don't know how he got to the Generals from. But he was. First of all, I like Herschel Walker as an individual too.
Yeah.
Real good guy.
Yep.
Good guy. Good example. Good player. He never got himself in any trouble that I know of. So it was interesting back then, and we'll see what happens here. I'm seeing a note here from our producer. Maybe it's spring of 2022. Maybe that's what he's saying. So that's when USFL will be coming back in there. Hopefully, that's good. All right, let's give you one here.
Okay.
Derek Lewis threw his cup in the crowd after his win. Was that the best celebration you've ever seen?
Oh man!
Or what do you think? I mean, that's gotta be the weirdest one in UFC history.
For sure. I was traumatized. I watched that fight live, and I saw him reach down, down there where the junk is, and he pulled that out. And I thought, it just was uncomfortable. He's just pulling it out for the interview. I couldn't believe that he chucked it into the crowd, and a guy gladly caught it and looked real happy about it. So,
Sean, I have to tell you, I think you're lying a little bit here. If you're in the crowd, the cup comes your way. I see you reaching for it.
No way. No chance.
Okay.
I'm not. Right. Guys do it with a mouthpiece too, and I'm always traumatized. I'm like, I'm not catching that. No way.
All right.
Although, if it's Conor McGregor, you might be onto something, Jill. I don't know. Who am I kidding? Yeah. Just as a reaction,
Yep.
All right. Yep. I'll give that the best celebration just because it's unique. You've never seen that before, so I'll give props to Derek Lewis on that one. But I don't encourage that behavior in the future. Crack, it's time to talk about your favorite website for all your sports articles, WSN.com. What you got? Anything special?
Well, during the break, it's funny. We talked about it, and I cursed, which I usually don't curse too much. I said, they have some unbelievable effing stuff. I mean, I'm dead serious, though. The articles they put up there every week are just ridiculous. No one has articles like that. I see a new bonus right on the homepage here. I wonder what that is. $750 risk-free Tipico. That's funny because I joined Tipico, and here in Jersey, they had it at Ocean Casino. You could finance it at the cage, and they gave you $750 free. So, but that they took that away. So now that I see it again, it's back. So Tipico, you have to go through WSN though. I'm looking right here. They took it away definitely, and it's back there. So anyway, latest predictions, stuff, odds on this bowl game stuff. Week 16. Great stories on WSN.com. You know me, though. I like the U.S. sports betting news, and I stopped as soon as I seen the betting on the 94th Academy Awards again. Now that DraftKings and FanDuel's in this market, Vegas doesn't take them, but this is something that's very interesting. So there is an article on that already. It's March 27th, but the article's out now. I'm going to read that myself. New Jersey in November, $114 million revenue. That's the revenue. It's just making a lot of money in the sports betting world over here in Jersey. PointsBet in Colonial Downs launches in Virginia sports betting app. Alan Iverson, the spokesperson for PointsBet. I myself, I'm also a spokesperson for PointsBet. So it's pretty cool that Alan's there. And then Drew Brees, they also hired too. So
it's nice to see for Alan, just because he's had some issues. Listen, I guess.
Don't let no one kid you. Alan's fine.
Yeah,
he's got a lot of money coming in every year.
All right, good.
Kind of a stories were out there. He went broke. And
right. Don't believe the hype.
I wish I was as broke
as Alan Iverson. All right, good. I'd like to hear that. I hate hearing when those guys lose the money.
He's got. By the way, one of the greatest basketball players ever. New York State Assembly introduces a sports betting kiosk bill. Going to be talking about this. Big stories. I heard it all day on radio today. Besides all the fear-mongering COVID news, I did hear a little bit in there about the New York sports betting happening. DraftKings had an ad they took out on 880 AM, which is the news station I listen to. I go back and forth from 880 to 1010 wins. My grandfather used to listen to these stations too. I took right up on them. But now they're having sports betting articles, sports betting ads. I thought it was kind of cool. But that's going to be happening. But let's continue with WSN. Great articles on that subject. Different sports betting things there. I love the bonuses. And I'm going to click on that because I was pretty surprised to see that Tipico is the new one. But yeah, okay. So Jersey, let's go over Jersey on WSN.com. Some of these are really exclusive to WSN too. I look at thousands and thousands. I'm not even going to go into them. Thousands and thousands of dollars in free money signing up at the New Jersey Sportsbook bonus area for New Jersey. Of course, there's a drop down, Illinois, Colorado, Pennsylvania, West Virginia, Indiana, so on and so forth, Tennessee, Iowa. And then they have the sports books in there. You just click on the link. And it takes you right to it. Get your free money and join today, WSN.com.
Love it. Crack, it's almost that time to wrap up. But before we do, I've got a little fun story for you, but I think you got one too. You mentioned something about a coin flipper earlier. What is this coin flipper?
I was on, I do a show on Thursdays. I do a show on nationwide radio, Sirius Satellite Radio. I just mentioned about a guy that was flipping coins, and he was one of the sharpest guys in the world I've ever seen. I heard about him for at least 20 years as the name, the flipper, till I actually met him.
Right.
And I met him and watched what he can do. And it was unbelievable.
Meaning calling, like flipping a coin and calling the outcome?
Listen, the guy would tell you to bring your own coins. He doesn't want to touch them.
Right.
Bring your own coins. He would tell you to flip your own quarter that came out of your pocket that you brought home.
Right.
And he would give you 6 to 5. That's the original thing would give you 6 to 5 on the money. No, are you kidding me? I'm tossing a coin.
Right.
6 to 5 on a coin flip. It's 50-50.
Sure.
And he would break you.
Come on.
He'd break you for everything you had. He's going to break you. So some of the last bets he made was literally 2 to 1. He went to a pool hall in Elizabeth, New Jersey.
So crazy.
West End Billiards pool hall when I was, I was like 22. I used to hang out there. That Thursday night tournament, I missed him because he's a road hustler. He's on the road. He goes on the road, up and down, all over. I missed him. It took me 25 years to meet him, and I actually know who he was and watch his skill and his craft. And he said to me, Crack, He said, it was nice of him to say, he goes, I actually met you. I guess I knew who you were, but I was told not to hustle you, which is unbelievable hearing the story from him. He's like, I met you about 6-7 years ago. You just don't remember. I met you at the Hard Rock in Las Vegas.
Wow.
And he said, I was in the high limit room, and I do play some blackjack and kind of cover what I do here and make it look good. But he said, I was told not to hustle you. And now I know who told him too. So it was kind of interesting. So anyway, it was to watch him do some things he did. I got to meet him, I went to dinner with him, hung out with him. I went to LA with him because he had a ton of, he was really good in the jewelry business. He won a ton of jewelry. He won so much jewelry off people, watches. And he used to go to LA and he used to pawn them to his, there's a jewelry district there. I didn't even know. I went with him. It was so cool. Everyone knew him. Everyone knew him in that jewelry district. It was like, wow. He walked into there was a place we walked into that had about 10 different stores and 12 different little desks set up.
Yep.
This is before the COVID, and everyone knew him. Everyone said, what do you got? What do you got? Bring it over here. Let's see what you got. And they would outbid each other for his jewelry that he won on the road hustling. So his grand finale, though, was unbelievable. He actually would tell you to take 5 coins. And he would say, all right, you're going to flip one. I want 4 of them. And he would take the 4 quarters, shake them, and then stop. And he'd say, flip that coin over there. You flip the coin, and your coin was on heads, and all 4 of these were on heads.
Come on. You saw this with your own eyes?
I did it. I did it multiple times. I did it. I just, you know what it is? I can't get marks. I can't get marks for somebody. I can't hustle my friends, or I can't hustle people I know.
Right.
Like, he was like, Crack, get me anyone you get me, we'll split the money. It's not me.
Right.
It's not what I do. It's not what I do.
You're the opposite.
No, I wouldn't.
You're helping them win. You want to help the people win.
I just wouldn't. But so anyway, the sad note of this is the flippers. I can't get a hold of them on any phone. This is a guy who called me every 3 months for the last 6-7 years. Every 3 months, like clockwork. Text me, called me. He found religion. So he always would say, God bless you and your family. And it's been almost a year now. I'm afraid.
No.
I think something got him.
Can we find out somehow?
I tried. I looked for his son. I met his son a couple times. I was with him at least 7 or 8 times. And he had you know how I know it's real and wasn't a magic trick or something? As he got older, because he was about 70s, he said to me, Crack, I can't do it at nighttime that good no more. I have to have a lot of light. So he couldn't do it at night. I watched him. He says, I'm getting them wrong at night. I'm getting like 3 out of 10 wrong.
Oh, wow.
At night. He said, I can't do it no more at nighttime. So he had to have it really bright. So unless that was part of the con, but he wasn't conning me.
Yeah, sure.
So anyway, it was just a subject matter. I thought,
wow,
people love hearing the stories about the flipper. So anyway,
I love it. Thanks for sharing that.
Either way.
Okay, before we wrap, I got one for you. So my dad was in Palm Springs last week, and he goes to visit Frank Sinatra's grave site, and he went to go lay some flowers on it. Which is just something he did. I know you're a cemetery guy, so this is why I bring this up.
I've been there 3-4 times.
So my dad goes to pay his respects to Frank, and he runs into a family there. I think Travis has someone sent this to me. So someone posted that on their Facebook, and coincidentally, so one of the ladies that he's standing there with, I'm not sure which one, is randomly Chris Benson's aunt. Unbeknownst to my dad. Wow. And he told them a story of, I guess, Frank's stone on the bottom in the picture was vandalized not too long ago. And my dad was instrumental in getting it repaired. I think he, along with a few others, paid to fix Frank's headstone. And I just thought I would share that with you because it was just such a random thing of all things. You know, so imagine these people are going just to visit for their Frank Sinatra fans. They're going to pay their respects. They run into Tony Orlando, and unbeknownst to them, my dad knows their nephew. But they don't even realize that. I don't even think to this day, unless Chris told them, because Chris ended up seeing it on their thing and sent it to me. But I just thought I'd share that because I know you're a Sinatra guy, I know you're a Tony Orlando guy, and you're a cemetery guy. So that's the trifecta for you.
Please send that over to me, Travis, or whoever has that. I'll have to see that. That's so cool. And look at your dad there. And I've been to that same cemetery a couple times now. Now his wife passed, so I'm sure she's with him. Barbara there, but also Julie Rizzo's there. Yeah. And which was one of Frank's guys. He's buried right by him. Yep. But that cemetery is really cool. Dinah Shore. Yeah. Sonny Bono. Yep. There's some great actors. William, actor from the 1950s, one of the best actors ever. There's some really cool, people that were buried in that cemetery. So. The one thing I don't understand is how wouldn't the Sinatra family pay for a gravestone that was vandalized and they I'm sure they did too. I don't know how my dad got involved. I'm actually having dinner with him tonight, so I'm going to ask him so I know the exact story. So your dad's in town?
He's in town tonight. Yeah, he's actually in town all week. Yeah. Yeah.
Very nice. Very nice.
So,
cool.
Well, Bill, listen, thank you for another great year. As we wrap up with Christmas here, of course, we've got next week's show. We've got Josh Reddick on the show for next week. We'll close out the year with him. But happy holidays to you. Merry Christmas to you. And I love doing this show.
Merry Christmas to you. And you may be surprised. I may show up. I may be in New Jersey New Year's Eve down here in Atlantic City. I may have to pop into your dad's show.
Do it. Let me know. Or let him know. Either one. Yeah. We got you.
John.
Yeah.
I don't have to go through you no more.
I know you don't.
I got your dad right on my thing.
You do, and he loves it. All right. Merry Christmas, Wisecracks, and happy holidays.
Guys.